A well-known chart analyst in the cryptocurrency market with 1.2 million followers on X recently called XRP the moron trade. He really did call XRP the moron trade. He has also said bad things about XRP in the past. Because of this, you might be surprised to hear that I do agree with him in certain aspects, and that I think XRP is a bad trade. The person you see on the television is Raoul Pal, who used to work at Goldman Sachs. He is the originator and CEO of Real Vision and Global Macro Investor, and he is also one of the smartest people in the whole Bitcoin world. For almost 5 years, I've been adoring him. I've talked a lot on this channel about how Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies follow Global M2. It's because of him that I now fully understand what's going on and what it means. An individual on your TV is the reason you know it. He is also correct. In a number of important ways, right? That doesn't mean he's always right, though. He is right on a lot of things, but not all of them. Not anyone, and not me either. He has also taught more people about some basic topics than almost anyone else in his field. If you want to make a lot of money with cryptocurrencies, you need to know these facts. I want to bring up this subject right now so that everyone can understand Raoul Pal's experience with XRP. This was the first item I talked about on August 21st of last year. How much did XRP cost back then? It was probably a little less than 50 cents or maybe a little more. Back then, that cost a lot less than it does now. Raoul Pal said that the headline said that people who adore XRP are being led astray by a cult-like way of thinking. At the time, Raoul Pal said this, but it was clear that it wasn't true. But no one is always right, as I said previously. This is a written version of what he said in a video he made. He said, "You could be right. You could adore XRP for a long time. XRP is acting as it was 2 bull markets ago. Please move on to whatever is getting the most attention. I know you're scared. This time, it will be the best one. You'll get a lot of notifications to help you get back in, but you'll miss the bull market since you're stuck in the past." There are a lot of people who live in the area. It's horrible to be in a cult, but I don't want to be the focus of internet harassment. We are employed as mercenaries. We are not a cult. We are here to generate money. The leaders of cults are the only ones who make money from them. I know that saying things like Cardano, XRP, and so on could upset certain individuals. Hope is not something you can invest in, but I really hope you're correct. That statement simply didn't hold up over time. It got old, just like spoiled milk. Yes, we all know that it's true. I think he went too far when he called it a cult mindset. A lot of smart people supported XRP for very significant and basic reasons. So, if you're going to use the word cult, you should probably be talking about the poisonous Bitcoin maximalist out there. They are the only people in the Bitcoin world that can be called a cult. The real cult mentality isn't an FXXP, it's over there. People don't buy XRP because they are part of a cult or because of their faith. They buy it because it is a good investment. Only regular investors are participating. Bitcoin maximalists are to blame for whatever cult-like behavior you might talk about. I suppose that was too much. It also surprised me when he said, "You will receive a signal to reinvest if XRP does begin to move." I thought, oh my God, that sounds like something new people do. He is not new to this either. You want to make sure you get exposure and can handle the ups and downs. I think the best financial advice is to just buy and not do anything else. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling anyone to buy or sell, but for me, the smartest thing to do was to buy and hold. For years after I bought assets, I did nothing. Those assets are now worth a lot more than what I paid for them. And that was before the current bull run of happiness. As an XRP holder and a part of the cryptocurrency world, I've never been more excited. So I was surprised by what he said before. As you might expect from a man of his quality, he was humble about the rise in XRP. He admitted he was wrong. The headline says, Raoul Pal admits he was wrong about XRP and celebrates a 400% rise. He said clearly, "You were right. I was wrong in a tweet on X, which used to be Twitter." He has been in favor of XRP ever since. Because of this, I was shocked by what I observed in a post by Ripple Van Winkle, a member of the XRP community, this morning. Ripple Van Winkle said, "I've never seen someone change their mind so many times about one asset. Raoul Pal now calls XRP the moron trade. I truly thought that was interesting." After XRP's rise began in December, Raoul Pal ultimately admitted that he was wrong. In a couple of updates I saw from him during 2025, he said that XRP may increase a lot from here. Is he now calling it the moron trade? So I watched the video and wrote down some of the important parts. This is what he really stated. People will buy XRP, Doge, and Cardano even if you don't want them since they are cheap. I didn't write down the part of the transcript when he talked about things that weren't relevant to our conversation. He went on to say that the stupid trade, which is usually a good one, is just buying the cheapest thing in the top 10. Now I'll show you the moron trade. And I'm not claiming that having them makes people dumb. I'm talking about the time when private investors start buying and selling. What do they look at? You don't know much about crypto. Welcome to the realm of digital money. Bitcoin costs $116,000. Oh my God, that is too much. My way. Ethereum costs a lot of money. Oh, XRP costs $3. I can have some of that. You see what happens because we've all been there. It is what he stated in reality. This is what I have to say about that. I wrote to Ripple Van Winkle to say that Raoul Pal did not flip-flop. He was talking about how tokens that cost less are more appealing to new cryptocurrency consumers. I agree with him totally on that. He called it the idiot trade. He made sure to say that he was not talking about regular XRP holders. I don't know about you, but I'm really happy that XRP is so inexpensive per unit. I agree with this point of view. I do think there will be a lot of new investors that don't know what they're doing. They want to get a lot of a token, and XRP's huge supply lets them get a lot more units than other desirable assets. That's great. This demand will probably raise the price of XRP, although it's hard to say by how much. I don't know if there will be a little or significant rise, but we benefit when we have FOMO while buying. It's okay to say that. As I will illustrate later, many who love Bitcoin are actually jealous of that. They want a smaller unit so they can have the same benefit. So it's great that you know this. But that doesn't mean that experienced investors like you and me are in the same group as others who are just starting out. We buy XRP because we know the foundations of it. I'm speaking in general terms, but I bet that most of you who are listening have been investing in XRP for years because you have learned about and understood its huge potential. You know that it is unlikely to go away. I also think you realize that new investors, some of whom are already here, won't know what you and I already know. They will make mistakes with their feelings and minds and go after green candles when they buy. This behavior sets the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and other assets. Everyone is trying to see the green candle. That's a different point of view and level of knowledge. But these newbies can learn from their mistakes. They might recognize that I made a dumb choice to buy XRP at the top just because I was feeling bad. But after doing some research and learning about market cycles and usefulness, they decide to hold. I was also new once. I started buying things around the end of 2017. I bought XRP for roughly 21 cents at first, but that was almost the end of the cycle.